Hello everyone. So this is super late in the evening, but I've been working on creating a new advertising with the Mind Body app that Teresa suggested. So I'm just now getting around to my video for the day. So this is day 11 of 30 for my 30 days of consciousness. And for all of those that are joining me so late this evening, I'm wondering why we're all still awake, but it is what it is. So, the topic for the evening or for the day is, are you willing to acknowledge the contribution that you be to the planet? And what that is. So, a lot of times we get caught up in how our life is, and then we kind of every now and again start to function from a space where we acknowledge how we're contributing to our family and maybe our place of employment. Um, but we don't really have the awareness of what the contribution is to the planet. So each of us is here and living and breathing, and each of us is connected to not only each other but also to the earth. And so, in acknowledging that connection with the earth, we're contributing to the entire planet. Um, and it reminds me of a story that I read in the Magic You Are It, Be It book by Dr. Dane Heer and Gary Douglas. And in that book, the story that I remember that made me think of this topic is when Dane is talking about how when he first started facilitating classes with Gary, he didn't feel like it was necessary because he didn't think that he was contributing anything. He said that Gary controlled, I shouldn't say controlled, that Gary did all of the talking and the teaching and the facilitating, and that he just kind of hung out. And Gary asked the question of whether or not Dane was truly acknowledging the contribution he was in the partnership for those classes. Like, was he really acknowledging how he was contributing to the class in a way that was different than what he expected? And so that's what this is really about. So, where have you made yourself so small of a contribution that you think you're only contributing to those that are immediately around you? And what would it take for you to be the gift and the contribution that the planet's been asking for? And so, what if you woke up every day and you started off by telling the earth that you had more than enough energy and that it could have whatever it needed? Whatever the earth required, would you be willing to give it to them? And I say them because I don't call it a her or a he, it's all inclusive, so them. Um, so, yeah, that's a good question to start asking is, am I willing to acknowledge the contribution that I be to the planet? And am I willing to function from a space that will allow me to contribute to the planet? And what would it take to be the gift and the contribution that the planet required and desired for change? So, just some food for thought while you're all fixing to go to sleep, or getting ready or winding down for the evening. Um, and I added the link to the Magic You Are It, Be It book just because that was the book that the story came out of. So check that book out. I read it in 3 days, and I only read it maybe 2 or 3 hours a day in between the foundation classes. And it's a very short read, but there are a lot of cool pieces in that book. Like, they talk about what it truly is to be oneness. They talk about sex and relationship. They talk about, well, what magic is and how it really works. They talk about choice and possibilities and question. So it really is a cool book. It's only $15. It's one of the cheaper books that I found that they publish. So if that interests you, check it out. And I'm wondering what contribution that this could be to the planet. And I'm going to let you all go. So I wish you all a good night. Thank you for joining me for day 11, and I look forward to doing day 12 with you all tomorrow. Love and light.